This is War of the Roses on 101.3 KDWB.
Hey, it's back. It's War of the Roses, and we're talking to Brooke. Brooke has got a problem. Brooke thinks her boyfriend not only has cheated on her in the past, you'll hear that story in a minute, but also is currently cheating or cheated just recently. So let's get the background. Are you ready? You ready to kick this off? It's the first War of the Roses in a month. Brooke, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Thanks for being on War of the Roses. You've heard tons of other people be on War of the Roses over the years, and now it's your turn. What's going on, Brooke?
I have heard this many times, and I think that this is just going to confirm what I already know.
Okay.
Because I'm absolutely convinced that my boyfriend is cheating. There's no way that he's not. I would be shocked if he's not.
So then why even bother?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're so certain that he's cheating, then why even bother? Is it just to get the satisfaction of busting him or what?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I want to know for sure, concrete, that I want him to know that I know.
Okay.
I get the satisfaction. It's kind of like when, well, I'm not going to name her, but her name starts with Julie. When I would get cheated on, it was more like, yes, I caught you.
Yeah.
Aha, I knew it the whole time, but now I know for sure. So what's the story, the backstory on how you know he's cheated before?
Well, the backstory is last summer, my friend saw him on Tinder. And right there, I was like, oh, he's got to be cheating. Because first of all, why would he be on Tinder?
Mm-hmm.
And he had been acting really strange, like just always had an excuse as to where he was going. Like he was just logging in more hours at work or going to the gym. There was always an excuse. And he was like really convincing too. Like he would convince me. He was such a good liar. Mm-hmm. But I confronted him because the Tinder thing really bothered me.
Right.
So I told him that I don't believe that he's going to work the one day. And what he did was he grabbed my keys from me because I said, I'm going to follow you and see if you go to work, which, obviously he's not going to go if I'm following him, but I was just, really mad.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabbed my keys from me, threw them in the lake, and I had such a big meltdown. As you can imagine, it was a huge fight.
I don't think that I should laugh at the fact that he threw the keys in the lake.
First of all, keys are super expensive to replace on a car.
They're not just
that's
keys
just
anymore.
Rude.
Yeah, that's the fob, and that's about $200.
Yeah.
So he threw them far enough into the lake. Were you able to walk in and fish them out, or were those keys long gone?
No, they're gone for good. Yeah, they are expensive. I have a spare, but now all I have is my spare.
Okay.
So we almost broke up there, but he swore up and down that he wasn't cheating and really had me completely convinced, and we made up. Mm-hmm. And, and I forgave him and we moved on.
Okay.
Until. But yeah, well, it's still, in the back of my mind always. So One day he's in the shower and I took his phone and I looked at the deleted photos.
Okay.
Like, how you can still see recently deleted photos?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a screenshot of a boarding pass in his phone. It said for New Orleans on the same date that he said he was going to Virginia to help his uncle with something.
Oh, so he says he's flying to Virginia, but really he's flying to New Orleans, which seems like quite the obvious red flag there.
There's no mistaking. There's something that he was covering up for. So the obvious thought is he met somebody online or old girlfriend or on some service that lives in New Orleans that he was flying to see. But you don't know that. You're just, that's the logical conclusion.
Well,
but he did lie to you about going to whether he's going to help his uncle. There's no question about that.
There's no question that he's lying, and I believe he's cheating because after that, I went, researching, some deep diving on his social media, and there is a girl there who he's friends with who I don't know, and I know all of his friends. He doesn't have a lot of followers.
Yeah.
I know all of his friends except for this chick. Her name's Jill, and she likes all of his photos. And I can't see her page or anything. It's such private, but I'm like, something's up. I know it. I absolutely know it.
So if it wasn't set to private, then you'd be able to find out probably where she lives.
And also see photos. Like if she's dating your boyfriend also, like maybe a photo of them together or something.
Could she request her friend?
She could.
But she's not going to unless she doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's so many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's what we can do for you. We can't really ask Brian because he'll probably lie about it. But what we can do is we can trick him with the War of the Roses ploy, where we call him, tell him that if he takes a quick survey from either his cable company or his whatever bank, that if he takes this survey, that we will give him a dozen roses to send to whoever he wants to. Hopefully he would send them to you because, I mean, you are, for everything you understand, you're still his only girlfriend. I mean, officially you are the one that he should send roses to, right?
Exactly, but he is not going to.
You don't think so?
No, I'll be shocked.
Okay. Well, here's what I want you to do. Well, if you're listening to the show, before we make the phone call me at 651-989-KDWB and let's talk for a little bit. Let's talk about what your prediction is. Have you had anything like this happen to you? Is it the crappiest thing ever to take your girlfriends and throw them in the lake so she can't follow you? And do you remember to delete your deleted photos? Because that's apparently very important. So what do you think? What do you predict, Fallon? Who's he going to send roses to?
Well, I'm convinced he is cheating because she's convinced me he's cheating. She's so confident in it. I'm like, she's probably not wrong because usually, as they say, trust your gut.
Right. Okay, call me now, 651-989-KDWB. We'll talk for a little bit before we make the phone call to Brian for War of the Roses. Hey, Brooke, hang on. We'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
So we're taking little prediction calls on whether you think she'll get roses sent to her or Brian's going to send them to somebody else. 651-989-KDWB. Tiffany, what do you think, Tiffany, before you hear part two?
I think he is, because I went through pretty much the same thing.
You had a guy throw your keys in a lake?
No, not that.
Yeah.
No, he never threw any keys in the lake. He was actually on POS.
Mm-hmm.
And every Sunday he would leave. But I actually was able to go to her Facebook and find out.
Okay. Did she post pictures of them together or something?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
you met him on Plenty of Fish, and then he would disappear every Sunday, and then how'd you find out about her, though?
I kind of had a hunch. I kind of knew something was up.
Yeah. Do you think that she's going to send... I think we're having a little trouble hearing each other, to be honest with you. Let's move on to Michaela from St. Cloud. Hi, Michaela. Is he cheating or not?
He is cheating.
How do you know?
My husband's ex-wife actually did the same thing when he threatened to follow her. She took the keys and threw them into a ditch.
Wow.
Out in the middle of, St. Cloud.
You know, I got to tell you, if it gets to the point where you're going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a problem there already.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't even need to actually follow because you've already decided.
Yeah.
I think so. And especially if their reaction is like, you're going to follow me? You're going to throw I'm going to throw the keys in the ditch.
Here you go.
Because if you said that to me, I'd be like, why?
I'd be like, what? Okay.
What for?
Why?
It's going to be boring. You want to come to PetSmart with me?
Kind of.
Ashley from Zimmerman. Before we get to part two of the War of the Roses, what do you think, Ash?
I think he's definitely cheating on her.
Wow.
I had an ex-husband who cheated on me all the time, and I would have the evidence right in front of me, and he would still lie and somehow convince me that I was crazy, and he's definitely cheating.
Okay. I think that happens almost every week on War of the Roses. There's the evidence. You confront him with the evidence, and he's like, nah, baby, that's my cousin. Hey, Courtney in Bloomington, last call on this one. We'll get back to it. What do you think, Courtney?
Yeah, I think he's cheating as well. I actually had a similar situation, and I have my boyfriend's phone because I was going to text my mom. And I went on his apps and re-downloaded his Tinder app that he had deleted. And I went on and found that he was messaging 25 other girls.
25?
Yeah,
Wow.
when he was in Thailand. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, thank you, Courtney. We're going to get back to it on War of the Roses on KDWB. Making the phone call.
That's the entire survey. Thank you so much for your time today, Brian. As promised, we have a dozen long stem romantic roses. We'll send those out for you today. I just need some information on the recipient if you have a second.
Sure. You just need a name. And does it have to be local?
No, it can be anywhere. Honestly, anywhere across the country is fine.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, first and last name.
Sure. So can I send them to Jill?
Yes. And what city does Jill live in?
That's New Orleans.
Okay.
And seriously, I appreciate this. This is perfect timing. Long distance relationships are hard.
Oh, that's what I hear. Have you guys you're in a relationship?
Wow. I have to jump in here. I'm sorry. Brian, I knew it. I knew you were cheating on me. I cannot believe this. You're not talking your way out of this one.
Brian, by the way, my name's Fallon, and this is Dave. This is actually Dave
Hi.
Brian, the morning show on KDWB.
Yeah.
And that other voice you probably recognize is your girlfriend, well, one of your girlfriends, Brooke.
Okay.
So
Yeah, okay. Wow, that's amazing, Brian.
Brooke basically called us to set you up to see who you would send flowers to because she saw the deleted screenshot of the boarding pass when you flew to New Orleans.
But you're supposed to be in Virginia.
Yeah, with your uncle. You remember that?
You have me on the radio right now?
Do you
serious?
also remember when you threw her keys in the lake so she couldn't follow you when you were cheating on her last summer? Do you remember that?
You have issues. Who are you?
I have issues. Why didn't you just break up with me last summer when you were busted then? Okay? Why string me along?
You're psychotic. You have me on the radio. Who are these people asking me questions about my personal life?
I'm psychotic. You're evil, Brian.
No, you just need to back off.
Oh, I need to back off. I love how you act like this whole thing is my fault, like I did something wrong.
Did he actually hang up?
God,
there's nothing more telling than when they hang up on War of the Roses because it's like, oh, damn, I'm so backed in the corner. I can't talk my way out of it.
It's more proof if he starts calling her phone, blowing it up right now because he's like, baby,
really?
That was fake. You don't know those people in your mind. They're playing mind games on you.
You know what? I have to ask you, how do you feel? Because we're sitting here laughing, but it's really
That's
not
your
that
relationship,
funny.
yeah.
But how do you feel right now, Brooke?
Honestly, I'm kind of relieved because this is something that I've known since the summer, and it's just confirmed now. I don't understand why. This has happened to me in 2 other relationships where basically the guy was lying to me, and I'm just like, it's fine if it's over, but why do you want to lie and string me along? Let's end it.
Yeah. Well, I'm really sorry you've gone through that. I mean, you need to look for a different type of guy, I guess.
I would say next time you find a guy cheating on you once, don't
give him a second chance.
Give him a second chance.
Yeah.
And also keep a tight grip on those keys, too.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I've never had anybody throw the keys when I busted them cheating. I think the first time I got cheated on, I was, 21 years old. And I was dating a girl who worked in an office, and she was also 21 years old. Mm-hmm. And she would go out late, like 1 o'clock in the morning, with the other women that worked in the office.
Yeah.
But I found out later the other women that worked in the office were in their 40s and had families and had kids.
Oh, and they were not going out at 1 a.m.?
They were not going out until 1 o'clock in the morning. She'd come home at 1 o'clock in the morning or so, once a week or so, and I was dumb because when you're young, you don't think that it's ever going to happen to you.
Of course not.
And I remember that very clearly. And then later, we lived near the Air Force Academy. And everybody in Colorado Springs at the time wanted to marry an Air Force cadet because Air Force cadets had a great future. They're going to be a pilot, et cetera, et cetera. And so she had some cadet that she was after. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, you've already got a boyfriend. Oh, don't worry. We're just friends. Mm-hmm. Well, one night she was in bed and there was a letter to her friend that she had written on the kitchen table. Well, of course, I opened it up.
You have to.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how, oh, Dave's all jealous because of whatever his name was and how I've been hooking up with this cadet. And I'm like, oh, whoa.
It was so much easier to cheat back in the 80s.
That was like the olden times going through someone's text messages.
It was, right? Going through somebody's letters. All right. Hey, listen, if you want to do a War of the Roses, whatever your reason is, whatever your situation is, send us an email to ryanshow@kdwb.com or just go to daveryanshow.com, keyword roses. Any final thoughts on War of the Roses for today, Fallon?
I mean, I feel bad for her, but a lot of people are texting in. They're saying, you know what? Always trust your gut. He's cheating. Not all women are crazy.
Nope.
But some men make some of us crazy. When we have all these signs pointing and they're denying it.
You can say that both ways, too.
Probably.
If you're a guy. And
it's a more common thing for guys to say a woman is crazy. Just like, I
Absolutely,
mean, that's
yeah.
just one of their things.
I think it's true.
Someone else said she knew it's in summer, but she stuck with him. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that happens a lot. I think that the part that I wouldn't have liked was the part where he threw the keys in the lake.
No.
That's
reckless, Dave. That's your keys.
What's
Those
your
are
keys? And it's like,
expensive,
that's just wrong. I mean, throwing anything in a relationship, although somebody
Unless it's a party.
Okay.
There it is.
War of the Roses wrapping up on KDWB.